Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. fluxJeLLy here, bringing you guys another Starcraft 2 replay. This game is going to be a Zvp on Antiga shipyard. It's between myself, fluxJeLLy, the green Zerg spawning at the bottom left, and Vermillion, the blue Protoss, spawning at the top right. This game was part of a Playham Plat Grandmaster tournament. I think this was the round of... I feel like it's the round of 8. It might have been the round of 8, I'm not quite sure what it was. But, it's between myself and Vermillion. Vermillion's a fairly high-ranked Protoss. I think he's like ranked 20 in his division or something like that, so he's not the greatest, but he's fairly high. And yeah, so I think a Grandmaster player named was it Lobber? I don't know, some Grandmaster named Matty or Lobber, I don't remember which one it was, went on to win this tournament. So yeah, so Zvp on Antiga, we're gonna see, looks like a Forge Fast band, so he's gonna be walling off this ramp right here. Some Protosses try to like wall this off, but I mean, a lot of them, that's a lot to wall off. I mean, that's bigger than the ramp on Shakuris, so what a lot of Protosses will do is actually wall to the Nexus, and then wall this off right here and put like a cannon right here. So, I mean, you can't really get through. It's going to be a pretty solid wall, and then you can just wall off right here too. And you actually have a run-by proof wall, so, who was it that did it yesterday? Sase wasn't yesterday, but it was a game I saw yesterday. Sase did it against Chef. And he ended up actually wrecking Chef, so it worked out very well. It's a really good build. So we're going to see a Forge FE out of Vermillion. As for myself, I do drop down the 14 pool first. I don't like to fast expand against Protoss because I feel like the 15 hatch is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to deny if their scout gets there for number 1. And number 2, I mean, they just cannon rush you if you 15 hatch, so just don't do it. I mean, it's a lot safer to put down that spawning pool. It doesn't hurt your eco too bad. Your hatch should still be down before their Nexus, so that's not a big deal. We see the drone going out now to put down the 16 hatch, so like I said, I mean, you're not that far behind. You just got to drone up a little bit, so it's not that big of a loss. It's better to put down the hatch and not have to deal with all the stuff that goes with it than to, you know, because for that one game you lose, you could have won. That you're gonna lose to that cannon rush, so. I prefer the 14 pool. So we actually have the Nexus going down right after Forge for Vermillion, so he's playing fairly eco-oriented. He did see the hatch go down, so he knows he's not going to be under any pressure. So he just feels safe enough to put that down. Looks like he's actually going to try to wall off the entire ramp, which I mean is also viable if you can do it. It's just a really big ramp to wall off. I mean it's going to take another 2 gateways and a cannon or a pylon or something like that. So it's fairly big. He'll probably put his gateway and his cyber and maybe a cannon. Not quite sure. So I do have some things out right now, trying to get rid of that scouting probe. Really smart, you do want to get rid of that probe, and you don't want them to see what you're doing. And I mean, if you kill off that probe, it means that probe can't put down proxy pylons, and that he has to send another probe out to do it. And I mean, a lot of Protoss, they just find that so annoying to deal with that they don't actually send out that other probe. They're just like, screw it, I'll just do something else. So, yeah, so you want to try to get that scouting probe out. I should be maintaining some drones down here fairly soon. The hatch is about done. You want to take about less than half, just a little bit less than half of your drones. So you can see I have 18 here now. I should be taking about 9 or 8, thereabouts. We'll see now as soon as I decide to Maynard. Come on, don't make me liar, Maynard. Do it! I remember this. Do it! Okay, I'm not going to do it right away. But anyway, so we do have the Forge coming out. Gateway's down. Second gas, actually first and second gas on the way, so looks like he's going to be going into some kind of gateway build, I think. That's what it looks like. I mean, so far, why would you get the Forge if you're not going to go for some kind of gateway build? And yeah, we had about 7 drones taken, so yeah, a little bit of a short Maynard, but that's alright. So there's a cyber core going down right now. Yeah, I mean, usually when you see stuff like this, I mean, the Forge fast expand is really strong when you can get that really fast +1 and push out really early, and we do see that second gateway going down right now. So yeah, a lot of Protosses like to do that. A lot of them go 6-gate blink and they'll get that +1, and that's actually a really potent build, especially on maps like this. That have a little bit of a cliff, like here and here, that you can exploit. I mean, you can just blink down the weak stalkers and leave the strong ones up here to fight the Zerglings. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of play like that. I do lose that link to the cannon there, but I do see the 2 gateways and the cyber core. So not too much of a surprise there. Not really going to see much else in that unless I decide to sack this Ovi. Which, yeah, as a Zerg player, keep that Overlord there so you can bring it in and scout at about, I don't know, the 8-minute mark. That's really important. A lot of people don't like sacrificing Overlords because it feels like, I just lost an Overlord, now I just lost less supply, and now I have to make another Overlord. But it is actually really worth it. Zerg is like the most reactionary race there is, so you kind of need to know what your opponent is doing or you're just going to get rolled over and get surprised. So we do have a Roche 1 on the way right now, so I do fear a little bit of early pressure. If you look at the income tab, though, the Protoss is actually pretty far ahead, and that's partly due to the fact that I'm gassing up right now, and I mean I threw down the Roach Warren. I didn't grab a third. So, yeah, you do actually have to be really, really careful against Protoss. I mean, if they do that fluxJeLLy, they are going to be able to keep up with you in Harvesters. These two Nexuses, if they're constantly getting Chrono boosted. And we actually have double Stargate coming out of Vermillion, so definitely surprised there. He hasn't had these gases for very long, so we did wait a little while to get those gases. And most Protoss players only go one starport or Stargate out of a fluxJeLLy just to deny the third, but looks like we're going to have some heavy pressure coming out of Vermillion. I don't know if the Overlord actually saw that or not. He might have. Let's check. The Overlord only saw one Stargate, so as far as I know, he's only going one Stargate to deny my third. I didn't see that second Stargate, which is huge. It makes such a big difference. It makes a difference between having to get an extra queen and having to get spores, essentially. So I'm kind of surprised I didn't see that. I'm probably going to end up having to cancel this third as soon as this pressure comes out. I mean, there's not much that I can do at this point. He's actually getting weapons level 1, so it looks like he's going to be dedicating to air here as well. So definitely interesting. I've not seen a build like this in quite a while. A lot of Protosses neglect to go air. They just go, well, they don't neglect to go air. They just neglect the air upgrades when they go heavy air for some reason. I don't know why. It's like a thing that Protosses do. So we do have a double Void Ray coming out right now. So I'm going to need something pretty big to defend this hatchery. I mean, a queen's not going to do it. 2 queens isn't going to be enough. We're going to need at least 3 queens or 2 queens and a spore or something along those lines. Definitely going to be an interesting situation. We do have lair on the way right now. I'm not sure I'm going to go out of lair. I did see the Stargate, so I might just go Hydras straight away. And yeah, I actually do go straight Hydras, so that's actually really good. Hydras are going to do really well against this kind of a build. You just have to get enough of them, and where I have this gas for quite a while now, it shouldn't be too much of a big deal. Void Rays are actually really bad against Hydras as well, and I do have some creep spread going to my third right now, so it'll make that a little bit quicker for the Hydras to get here, which is, I mean, every second counts in this case, so yeah, so you do need roaches along with these Hydras. You do have to protect your ground army. The Hydras are really, really weak against gateway units when they're just by themselves, so you do have to keep them guarded or whatever. But we do have the third base up right now, so I'm in a pretty good position. I feel like I can defend this pretty well, and I actually have Fleet Beacon on the way as well, so perhaps a mothership coming out of Vermillion here. A quick mothership rush is actually really, really it's better than people think it is. It's actually pretty potent when you're not ready for it. And we do have the Void Rays coming into the third right now. I should be seeing this right now with my creep. Yeah, and it's attacking the roaches. So it is giving me a little bit of time. 11 Hydras about to pop. Should be able to fend off these Void Rays, no problem. Probably won't even need the queen, to be honest. Yeah, the Hydras are starting to spawn out right now. They do have their group spawns on the way, but it's not quite here yet. And that creep highway proving to be great for the Hydras, as they are going to pick off a Void Ray. So getting a Void Ray right there without having to lose anything is actually really, really good. Almost getting that extra Void Ray, but it actually did get away with 19 health, just barely, but it will regain those shields. But still, a fairly weakened Void Ray, so we actually have carriers on the way for Vermillion, so he's going to be carrier rushing right now. And getting that gravitonic catapult, which is basically makes the interceptors come out faster. This is a build that I've heard a lot of Zergs complaining about that they don't know how to beat, because carriers are really good, and Hydras are bad against carriers. And I've actually been hearing a lot of Zergs saying people go Carrier, Void Ray, Phoenix against me, and I don't know how to beat it. And I've never actually had to play against it that often, so I have no clue on how to beat it. But yeah, I mean, the Carrier Rush is actually really underwhelming. Underwhelming. It's not underwhelming. It's overwhelming, but it's very underrated. People don't know how good carriers are once they get in large numbers, and I mean, this early in the game, you're not going to have much to defend against them other than Hydras, and Hydras are really bad against carriers. But we do have the Hydras and the ropes breaking down this front door right now. The carriers have made themselves noticed, so they are. I do know the carriers are out. I do have a gateway gone down. Trying to break in here and do some damage to the natural. At this point, I don't think I'm going to be able to do much damage. There's a couple carriers here, and there are Phoenix as well, so the Hydras probably won't be able to do that much damage. Just killing cannons, not that big of a deal. I do have a Zealot here. Focus firing the Nexus. I mean, that Nexus isn't going to go down, so the only really thing I gained out of that was knowing that the carriers are out. If we look at the units lost tab right now, I'm actually really, really far behind, almost 2,000 income resources behind, which is really not good. The only saving grace I have is that if you look at the income tab, I'm up, I'm actually down. Oh my god. I have 11 more drones spawning right now, but wow, I am down really, really far. I don't know what happened there. I guess I just didn't drone. I was making those Hydras really early. That's all I can think of. And I mean, Vermillion's in a great spot right now. He's up by a lot of harvesters. He's got his third on the way right now. I mean, I'm only on 3 bases. I've had my gas a little bit longer than his. His Void Ray actually targets down my extractor as well, so that's going to delay a bit of my gas income again. And trying to put that back down now. The Hydra should be able to force away this Void Ray. Will it go down though? I don't know. It's pretty close. The Void Ray does survive with 11 health, so getting away by the skin of his teeth again. But yeah, no, delaying more gas, getting his own up right now. And I mean, yeah, he's looking in a pretty good position at this point. He's got +2 air weapons on the way. My Spire's just about done, so I do expect myself to go into Corruptors. It's pretty much the only thing I can think that would be good against carriers is Corruptors. Because I mean, Mutas are just really, really fragile. They don't do enough damage, to be honest. I mean, the Corruptors get that mass damage, and then they have that corruption ability as well. So I feel like Corruptors is probably a better choice here. We do have 6 Corruptors on the way right now, and I have Hydra, and well, I guess Roaches too, but more geared toward the Hydras. We got +1 missile weapons on the way as well. The Groove Spines is done. Roach Speed is done. Should be getting +1 for my air, to be honest, if I'm going this heavy in the Corruptors. And yeah, there it is right there. So 4th base on the way right now. Look at the income tab. I mean, this is looking pretty bad. 81 over 59 for the Protoss. I am ahead just because I'm on my 3-base mining. His mining actually hasn't kicked in yet, but once it does, he's actually pretty far ahead of me. So that's definitely not a good situation. We have the Mothership on the way now as well. So Mothership Carrier off a 2-base into Expand. So it's definitely an interesting build. He does have that walled off. He doesn't have this walled off, however, so if he loses these rocks, it's going to be a bit of an issue. But he does have a lot of cannons here to defend this 3rd base, so he should be alright there. He does have his carriers out here as well. Interceptors aren't being made, they're being made, but very slowly. And here we go. We have Lings and Corruptors running in right now. The Corruptors are going to have to pull back, and just wait for the Hydras. And we have 6 carriers here. I don't think this is going to be very good for the Corruptors. It looks like they're going to go down pretty quick. They do focus down 1 carrier, but a lot of Corruptors are dying right now. And yeah, they're just getting murdered here by the carriers. The Corruptors really, they need to be in a way larger number than that to do any damage. And yeah, even the Hydras get taken as well. They were standing in the back just picking off Interceptors, which is not what you want. You want to target carriers straight away. And yeah, so only 1 carrier going down there. That's really not a good trade for me. If you look at the units lost again, I'm down even farther now. 5,000 resources down, and when you're down by workers as well, you can't afford to go down that far in the resource loss. 4th base actually being killed off as well by this Void Ray. So delaying another gas as well. Oh, a Transfuse going down on the gas, saving it with the Queen. So really, really good play there by that Queen. Did save that gas. The charge is down from the Void Ray. He has to get out of there. The Queen's going to pick him off. 2nd Queen on the way up now to defend. So that gas is really important at this point. Corruptors are really gas-intensive units. So I do have a good number of Corruptors out right now, though. I do have 10 with 11 popping right there, and actually 4 more on the way. So a lot of Corruptors now starting to pile up. And if he doesn't keep his carrier count high, I mean, the Corruptors will overwhelm it eventually. Another 4th base going down right here. And actually Vermillion going to take the gold. So really, really, really aggressive expanding by Vermillion. I do like to see that. I mean, he's got this really strong Air Force, so why not take map control? I mean, there's not much that I'm going to have to break down these carriers. He's got 4 making at a time. And, I mean, that's just a really, really potent Air Force. If he leaves it there, it would be really good. The Lings are going to run in here and deny this 4th, so that is really good. You do want to do that as a Zerg. You can't let the Protoss get on equal bases as you. Essentially, you really can't even let them get on 4 bases, but you have to keep their base count as low as possible. The Nexus does get cancelled, and the Lings do get out of there, no casualties. They're actually going to come back to kill that Zell, and then you get out of here. I do see the Mothership as well, so I know there's a Mothership now. So a good pick up there with the Lings. 2 Overseers now morphing in. You want to make 2 just because, I mean, 1's really easy to pick off. And a lot of Corruptors. I mean, 17 Corruptors out right now. 5 more on the way, making a lot of Hydras and a lot of Lings. So this is, I think, a good unit composition to beat this kind of build. You just got to get that Mothership down, make sure there's no Vortex, and then just pick off the carriers one by one. Don't hit the Interceptors, hit the carriers. So this seems like it could work. A couple Phoenix out right now just to spot a little bit so you can see exactly what I'm doing. A lot of Corruptors right now, and they're getting baited out, so losing a Corruptor there for nothing. Losing 2 Corruptors. Wow, so that's really not what you want to do. You want to keep all those Corruptors alive. I still have a fair good number of Corruptors. Just sending in Lings to mess up the AI, and now the Corruptors are coming in. They're going to target down that Mothership right away. Look how fast that Mothership went down. Oh my god, that was so fast. The Vortex did go down, catching a couple of the Corruptors, but a lot of carriers are getting taken out right now. The Corruptors are doing a ton of damage to the carriers, and that's like 2 or 3 that are gone down right now. Here goes another carrier, and there's going to be a lot of Corruptors pop out of that Vortex too. So, I mean, this is going to be really, really bad for Vermillion. Yeah, look, 6 more Corruptors popping out there. All these carriers are probably going to go down. There's just a lot of Corruptors, but they are targeting the Interceptors right now, which is really, really bad. The Hydras are picking off this carrier. There's 2 carriers left, so they do have to be able to pick this off. I don't know why the Corruptors are still attacking the Interceptors, and there they go, attacking the carrier, picking off another carrier. So there's only 1 left right now. Look at the units lost tab. I am starting to bring it back into my favor. It's pretty much even right now, and the Corruptors are doing a ton of damage. All the carriers have gone down. The Lings are running by, but there's a lot of cannons here, so these Lings aren't going to do anything at all other than scout the fact that there's a lot of cannons. And 3 more carriers on the field right now with 3 Interceptors in, so they do have to make up Interceptors before they move out. A little bit of a weakness that the carriers get. They can't just pop out of their Stargate and then attack. They do have to make those Interceptors, so that's when you actually have to hit as a Zerg. You have to be able to time that. and hit the carriers while they're actually making interceptors. The 4th base up and running right now. If you look at the income tab, I mean, it's fairly even. You're not going to want to get many more than 70. You probably go 76 at the highest for drones, I feel. That's usually the number I like to go for. So the fact that he made 88 is kind of overkill. I mean, look at the saturation on this 3rd. I mean, he's not getting any good out of half of these drones, so he will have his gold up soon, however, so that is pretty good. And he does kind of want to get a high income because he has all these carriers that are really, really resource intensive. So, not the worst of plays there from him. We do have a lot of Hydras and Corruptors moving out right now. Looks like this 4th is actually going to be cancelled again. I mean, there's not much he can do to hold this attack. This is going to be a pretty big attack. There's a lot of roaches under here with the Hydras, so I do expect to cancel this. There's not going to be any way to hold this right now. And the carrier's getting taken off so quick, they almost go down instantly to these Corruptors. Plus 2 upgrades on Corruptors is actually really good. I mean, they do 24 damage plus an extra 20% with the Corruption ability. So, definitely nothing to sneeze at. The Corruptors do really, really well against carriers. You just have to have a lot of them, essentially. Yeah, this 4th is going to be cancelled again, so, yeah, I do expect this to go down. Cancelling should, yeah, there it is there. So, just trying to wait till the last minute there to cancel, and this 3rd's actually going to be in danger as well if they decide to break down the rocks here, which I actually do. So this is going to be really, really bad for Vermillion. He doesn't have much to defend this except these carriers, but these carriers are going to get melted by the Corruptors if they decide to come defend. But there are a couple cannons here, so these cannons will be a lot of help here if you can pick out the right units. And we do see the Hydras and Roaches coming in right now, and the Corruptors are coming in as well. That 1st carrier getting taken down almost instantly, so it's really, really bad for Vermillion. That 2nd carrier getting picked off as well. A lot of carriers going down for Vermillion, and the Roaches and Hydras just under here killing off all the cannons. So really, really bad spot. It looks like this 3rd is actually going to be taken out. This is really, really dangerous for Vermillion. Another carrier getting taken out, trying to micro as best he can, but you can't really kite Corruptors. They are pretty quick. Another carrier going down. But at the same time, look at how many Corruptors have gone down. So many Corruptors have died during this engage. Another carrier going down, but this Nexus is getting focused down. So this is really bad for Vermillion. As you can look, his natural's mined out. His main is mined out. He's distance mining from this base right here. And I mean, at this point, this is his only mining base, and it just got taken out. The only thing he's getting now is gas. Thankfully for him, I mean, he has a lot of probes, but he's got to get another base down ASAP, or he's going to be in an insurmountable position right now. We do have 18 Corruptors spawning right now as well, so keeping that army count really high. And there's only 5 carriers left, so 19 Corruptors can take 5 carriers, 6 carriers now. So he is somehow keeping that production going. He's getting a lot of mineral income, distance mining like that, which is really, really surprising. But I mean, at this point, it's all he can do. He has to throw down a Nexus somewhere. He does have his 3rd back up and running. I feel like he does have to get this base down here up and running, or this one right here, because he's going to be on 1 base. That's not enough income to keep up carrier production. And then, I mean, I'm on my 5th base right now, so okay, he's definitely in a tough spot. He has to sit back and just macro up, max out, and then move out. So, surprising another mothership. I guess it's just too expensive at this point. But we do have a lot of roaches on the way. Hive Tech is on the way as well, so I can get that +3. This gas is still running. Never did get taken out, which is good. So yeah, right now I'm looking pretty good. I mean, I'm on 5 bases. I have a lot of Corruptors. That's 18 Corruptors right there against 6 carriers. Oh no, he's actually at 9 carriers now. So 9 carriers is actually enough to kill that many Corruptors. It's just a matter of, at this point, you have to starve the Protoss. If you can keep his base count at 2, I mean, if you can keep denying the space, there's literally no way he can beat you. You just sacrifice your army and then fall back on your economy, make it up, and then sacrifice your army until he has nothing left. So this is pretty much what I'm going for at this point. I want to pick off this Nexus again. If I pick off this Nexus, I'm going to be in great position. There's not going to be much he can do, right? I mean, his mineral income is just low enough as it is, so this Nexus is going to get taken out again. So this means no more carriers can be made, because he has to use all his minerals to make a Nexus, a carrier going down right there, another carrier getting taken out right there. There's 2 carriers going down right now, 3 carriers. So these Corruptors are actually doing a really, really good job here. Another carrier going down now, and this is what I'm talking about. I mean, I lost a lot of Corruptors, but I killed off this Nexus, and I have an economy to fall back on. 17 more Corruptors on the way, as you can see. So this is what you want to do. You just want to wear the Protoss down, keep killed off his Nexus so he can't get any income, and then you just come in, kill some carriers, lose all your Corruptors, and then just make more Corruptors and come back and kill the rest. So definitely what you want to do against this kind of style. This is the one weakness the style does have. I mean, it's really, really slow to get a big army, and I mean, if you start to get into a point where you trade, you're going to be in a really, really bad position. Throwing this hatchery up right here, I do see all this distance mining, so I know at this point that I have him exactly where I want him. He's definitely in trouble. This Nexus will get, or this hatchery will get taken out, but that's not really a big deal. I know exactly where his army is now. I know exactly how much he has, and I know that he's distance mining, so that he's in big trouble. If you see your opponent distance mining, you know you have to be ahead if you're not distance mining. And we actually have a contingent of roaches coming out here just to deny this hatchery again, as well as these Corruptors coming out here just to take out the carriers. And we have a big engagement right now. There's a lot of interceptors out. These carriers are pretty much full on interceptors. One carrier goes down right away, another carrier getting taken out almost instantly, 2-shotted by all these Corruptors, and the GG from Vermillion. So great game there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That's how you have to deal with carriers. I mean, you have to get a lot of corruptors and just a better economy. You just have to keep expanding. Don't be afraid to expand and lose bases. I mean, this army is really slow, so you'll know exactly where they are. You can counterattack and kill off these bases that need to be killed off, so that you can just starve them essentially. So I hope you guys learned something and enjoyed. So stay tuned for more and hit that subscribe button.